Hey guys, I think I'm going to do or what I planned was to do like stories of the prophets, but like, yeah, that's pretty much it. And just like talk about it how we would normally, with regular stories. But that's it. I have Bakra with me. And yeah, we're just gonna go into it because it's already the first night of Ramadan. So, okay, so when I was reading my Arabic classes, actually this is a book that was recommended to me to read. Love my Arabic teacher. Shout out to her. Let me stop. But anyways, yeah, the book I'm reading is Qasas Nabi. I don't know if I said that right. But anyways, so we're gonna start. Alright, this is basically about Nabi Ibrahim and his time, so keep that in your mind. Right, so before many days, there was a village with a very famous man, and the name of the man was Azhar. Right, so basically Azhar would sell idols in a very large house in this town, and there were idols in his house, basically a lot of idols. I don't know why in the book it says very, very much idols. So keep it in mind, it's a lot of idols, right? And the people would prostrate to idols, and Azhar, in Arabic it says Azhar, like, anyways. So Azhar would prostrate to these idols, and he would worship them idols. So like, he would be bowing down to them. And so he had a very intelligent son, and this boy's name was Ibrahim. So I would say something in Arabic, but we're not gonna do that. We're not. So, and Ibrahim would see the people prostrating to the idols, right? And he would recognize that the idols were stone, like they were brick, bro. But like sane people do that, right? And so, and then he knew that the idols wouldn't, like, they can't hear or they can't speak, and he would recognize that the idols do not harm and they don't bring benefit. So they can't fight nobody, and they're not helping you. They're not giving you money. They're not giving you a met. Anyways, right? So, and then it says, and he would see that the fly sits upon idols, and then they do not defend against it. So basically, like, the flies will come, and you know, people are like, okay, like, fly, like, move. They couldn't even do that. They couldn't do that. All right, so, and then so he would say to himself, he was like, why do people prostrate to this brick and stone? This porter messed up. What is it? Metaphors. Past, pace, and water. Anyways, I was gonna say in Arabic, but I'm not doing that. Right? So, and Ibrahim asked himself, why do the people ask the idols? Like, why do y'all talk to them, bruh? Like, think about it. Right? And then so, and on the day of Eid, basically, the people like all came to rejoice, right? And then when the people left for Eid and the children left and Ibrahim's father left, he said, and his father left, and he said to Ibrahim, are you not leaving with us? And Ibrahim was like, I'm sick of it. But no, he didn't say that, right? But he just said, I'm sick. And the people went to Ibrahim and remained in the house. Ibrahim came to the idols, and he said to the idols, do you not speak? Do you not hear? This is food and a drink. Do you not eat? Like, come on. Do you do anything? So, like, yeah. And then, so, they said nothing, because what is a rock going to tell me? Alright, so they said, the idols remain silent, because they're stones, and they don't speak, you know? Right? So he said, Ibrahim said, what is with you that you did not speak? And the idols remained silent and did not speak, right? So thereupon, Ibrahim became angry and took the axe, right? You know what he did with the axe? What girls should do to men. He said, Ibrahim hit the idol with the axe and he broke them, right? Into the rocks they were meant to be. And then, so, and Ibrahim left the biggest idol and hung the axe on its neck. So he was coming for them. He was ready, right? And so the people like all came back, and they see like to the idol's house, And the people intended to like pray or whatever, because like it's the day of Eid, so like whatever. However, the people became astonished, and they were shocked and became regretful, and they was angry, and they was like, who did this to our gods? They said. And they said, we heard a youth mentioning them. He's called Ibrahim, right? And they said, Ibrahim, did you do this to our gods? And he said, rather this big one of them did it. So ask them if they can speak, right? So that's actually funny. So right, they said, did you do this to our gods, O Ibrahim? He said, rather this big one of them did it. So like, maybe I didn't do it. Maybe them, like he did, the huge one. But ask him if he broke the little ones, right? And the people was recognizing that the idols was rock, and they were recognizing that the rock does not speak or hear, right? And then they realized that the biggest was a rock, and the biggest idol is not able to walk or move. And that the biggest idol is not able to break the other rocks, right? So after that, they was like, so Ibrahim was like, that the idols don't speak, right? Like, you know that, right? And so Ibrahim said, how do you worship idols, although they do not harm or bring benefit? And how do you ask idols, although they do not speak and hear? So don't you understand anything? Don't you have sense? Like, don't you have sense, bro? Like, come on. Anyways, and the people became quite quiet, and they became embarrassed. Because as you should. I don't know how much pages I'm going to get through. Maybe get through this or whatever. But yeah, so basically breakdown of what just happened, right? So it was a little boy or whatever, and then boom, Eid came around. The days went by, Eid came around. He broke the stones, and he was like, yo, matter of fact, I'm gonna break this, and then tell them to come talk to it to see who broke it. And that's not going to say he lied, like, oh, I didn't break it. He said, ask him first if they broke it, right? And then so the people could be like, oh my gosh, they can't speak. Like, how dumb are we, right? So he did like a little mind trick right there. After that, so the people gathered and they said, what do we do? Indeed, Ibrahim broke the idols, and he has disgraced them stones, them rocks, right? And the people asked, what is Ibrahim's punishment? Actually, I don't know. It never mentioned how old he was, so I mean, like, besides him being a boy, like, and a kid or whatever in the beginning. But yeah, right? So they said, what is Ibrahim's punishment? Alexa, skip. Okay, Alexa started being dumb. She's almost like the people who aren't seen. Let me stop. Anyways, so you see my little underscarf, different color. Right? So basically, they was like, what is his punishment? And they replied, burn him and support your gods. Right? So, and likewise it came to be, they ignited a fire and they threw him in it. However, Allah said, no, you're not. He said, what? No, you're not. Right? So, the fire got lighted, and he said to the fire, right? However, Allah helped him. Allah helped Ibrahim, and he said to the fire, O fire, become cold and peaceful upon Ibrahim. So that's what Allah said. Right? And likewise, it came to be, the fire was cold and peaceful upon Ibrahim. And the people saw that the fire does not harm him. And basically, they seen that he was happy and safe, and they were shocked, and they became bewildered. They was like, what? They have never seen something like that in their life. So it was almost like awkward, like a moment like that. Like, not even awkward. It was just like insanity. Right? And then, so one night, Ibrahim saw a star. So he said, this is my Lord. Right? And when the star disappeared, Ibrahim said, no, that's not my Lord. Because it left. It came and left. What? Like, my Lord doesn't do that. Out of your big head. Right? So, when he saw the moon, he said, you know what? Maybe that's my Lord. And then the moon left. And then Ibrahim said, no, this is not my Lord. And then the sun rose. And then he said, this is my Lord. This is the biggest. Like bright and mighty. But then the sun disappeared in the night. And then he said, no, that is not my Lord, because truly Allah is living and he does not die. Indeed, Allah is remaining, he does not disappear, and indeed Allah is strong and nothing overpowers him. Ever. So like, them thinking that them rocks, is their idols. Watch you get pelted by it. Watch you get thrown. Okay. Right? So, I'm going to just read this part because it's not really a story. It's just, Right? It says, and the star is weak, the morning overpowers it. And the moon is weak, the sun overpowers it. And the sun is weak, the night overpowers it. And the star will not help me because it is weak. And the moon will not help me because it is weak. The sun will not help me because it is weak. And Allah will help me because Allah is alive and he does not die. And he is remaining, he does not disappear, and he is powerful and nothing overpowers him. Right? So, chapter 8, and Ibrahim recognized that Allah is his Lord because he is alive and does not die. And that Allah is remaining. Okay, so it just repeats like the same exact thing that I just said. Right? And then it says, and that Allah is the Lord of the sun, and that Allah is the Lord of all the worlds. And Allah guided Ibrahim, and he had made him a prophet and a friend. And Allah commanded Ibrahim to invite his people and prevent them from the worship of the idols, the worship of them stones and bricks. Right? It's so funny every time I say stone. Anyways, right? So, what are you thinking? Acha. Right? So basically, she's just saying it's crazy like that they would actually do that. Right? And I'm like, like insane, right? Right? So I'm gonna reach 11 and then we're gonna stop. I wanted it to be longer, but fortunately, I have man duties to do. Like, why do I even work? Why do girls work? Bro, what? Like, I just want to be a wife and just have money. And that doesn't go nowhere. And then be a good Muslim and not be out in this world because people piss me off. You know? You know what I mean, right? Anyways. But patience. Sabr. Right? So basically, Ibrahim invited his people to Allah and he prevented them from worshipping these idols. Right? And Ibrahim said to his people, what do you worship? And they said, we worship idols. Ibrahim said, do they hear you when you call them? Or benefit you? Or harm you? Do they do anything? So basically, he's just giving them sense. He's like, do they harm you? But imagine, right? So imagine you're doing something dumb, right? And I'm just like, okay, but does this benefit you? Does this harm you? And you just start like standing on business. Like, imagine how embarrassed you would feel. Like, I'm just throwing backs at you. And then you're just like, you're silent. That's embarrassing. Right? So they said, rather we found our fathers doing likewise. Ibrahim said, so well, I do not worship these idols. In fact, I am the enemy of these idols. I worship the Lord of the worlds. He who created me, then guides me. He who feeds me and gives me drink. And when I became sick, what did he do? He cured me. Anyways, and he who causes me to die, then will bring me back to life. And indeed, idols do not create, nor do they guide. And verily, they do not feed anyone, nor do they give drink. When someone becomes sick, they do not cure. And verily, they do not cause anyone to die, nor do they give life. Right? I doubt he was like saying it in the way like I'm saying it at all. It was probably like the most pious, like, I don't know. But so in the city basically was very big, very oppressive king. Like in the city there was this big oppressive king, right? Guys, don't oppress people because once they make a do it against you, bro, it's clips for you. Like, not clips, like, but just don't. try not to. If you do, beg for forgiveness, bro. Because I just realized the depth of like oppression, bro. Not just, but anyways. And then basically, and the people will prostrate to the king. And the king heard that Abraham prostrates to Allah and does not prostrate to anyone else. So the king became angry because his pride was up to the sky. His pride was up to the sky. He didn't know that he was gonna die. Right? And that was so cringy. Should I skip that? Anyways, so basically he was like, yo, call this guy over here. Right? But he didn't know who he was for real. He didn't know. But he was just like, yo, come here. Let me say something. Alright. And then so Ibrahim came in. Ibrahim would not fear anyone except Allah. And the king said, who is your Lord, O Ibrahim? And Ibrahim said, my Lord is Allah. And then, so Ibrahim said, I remember this story as a little kid. Right? Ibrahim said, he who gives life and causes death. Right? So the man said, I give life and I cause death. Right? So this part, he skipped. Right? And then the king called the man and then he clipped him off. He killed him. Right? And then he called another man and he let him go. So basically that's like his like, oh, I gave life and I gave like in death. I let him live and let him die. It's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, right? And I give life and I cause this. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. Right? And he said, I killed the man and I let him go. And the king was very ignorant. It says stupid right here. It says ignorant. Right? And likewise, is very polytheist. And Ibrahim intended for the king to understand and his people to understand. So Ibrahim said to the king, then indeed Allah brings the sun from the west, so you bring it. No, he said, then indeed Allah brings the sun from the east, so you bring it from the west. Right? So imagine this king's like, yo, I can do this and this and the third, okay? And then this young man's like, okay, then move the sun. Like, in the middle of like, it's silent, boom. Then move the sun. Come on. What are you doing? Right? And they said the king was bewildered and silent. Of course he was. Of course. Because what? Who are you? Right? And the king became embarrassed and he did not find an answer. Ended. Like, I just ended. Alright, let me stop. And then I'm going to stop at 11. And we're on 11 right now. So, right? So, Ibrahim intended to invite his father also. So, he said to him, oh, my father, why do you worship what does not hear nor see? And why do you worship what does not benefit nor harm? Right? I feel like this would be very nice listening to in Arabic. Should I? Anyways, right, so he said, oh my father, do not worship the shaitan. Oh my father, worship the most merciful. And Ibrahim's father became angry. He said, I will beat you, so leave me and do not. Oh, he sounds like someone I know. Anyways, so he said, I will beat you, so leave me and do not say anything. And Ibrahim was forbearing. So he said to his father, peace be upon you. He said, Assalamu alaikum, because I'm gone. Right? And he said, I'm going from here and I will supplicate to my Lord. Because, like, what else can you do? And so, and Ibrahim became very regretful. And he intended to go to another city and worship his Lord and invite the people. And so, okay, well, that's kind of, you know, I'll do 12. Wait, no, it's already 11 minutes. All right, so I gotta cut it. That is, we're on the 11th part of the story. And so, yeah, that's a little piece, of Nabi Ibrahim, his father, and this king, right? The king's out of his kind, picking mine. I'm just saying. Because, like, what? Talking about, and then he just killed this poor innocent man. Like, he probably went to jail for stealing. Like, okay. Like, for, like, something so small. but you had to kill him off because you wanted to prove a point. And then in the end, your point wasn't proven. But anyways, so I'm gonna call it the end and just end it here. I hope all y'all have a good, nice Ramadan and y'all can benefit greatly from it. I do intend on continuing this like series, I guess. But work and things may or may not get in the way. But inshallah. Alright. Bye everybody. Ramadan Mubarak. Okay, she says bye guys.